time to head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. This one about the NFL and potentially suspending Deshaun Watson.
Oh, how you doing? I'm original, only from Lancaster, Ohio. I'm 40 years old. Been a Browns fan my entire life because my dad was a Bengals fan. So I've been watched all what's happening all these years. And I have one simple question. How can the NFL actually punish somebody that hasn't been found guilty of anything? There's no indictments. There's no criminal charges. And he's yet to be found guilty on anything. So who are they to punish him ahead of schedule? I understand if he goes to court and any of these charges, a single one of them, he's found guilty on, that's punishable. I couldn't agree with that more. But that's not the case. How does the NFL get to do this before he's ever found guilty? It's nothing but personal accusations. They're civil cases. So how does the NFL have the right to honestly punish Deshaun Watson? That's my question. Thank you.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. So the thing to keep in mind, the NFL is not finding him guilty of anything other than violating their code of conduct, of hurting the reputation of the league. And they do have a precedence of punishing players who haven't been charged, haven't been found civilly liable, but have tarnished the reputation of the league, and they've suspended them 8, 10, 12 games. So there is precedence for the league, and it is for violating their code of conduct, and that is if it's nebulous, it's by design. The commissioner and now the arbitrator will decide that, and they will mete out the punishment irrespective of if he's never found guilty or never found civilly liable. With that, let's welcome in Spencer German. And Spencer, the important thing to remember is it's for violation of the NFL's code of conduct, hurting the reputation of the NFL. That is what Roger Goodell or the independent arbitrator or whomever ends up deciding what it is, that's what Deshaun Watson will be or will not be suspended for.
Yeah, Dave, you hit the nail on the head. I understand, too, why sometimes it's difficult to understand the personal conduct policy because it is very vague and very broad, and the NFL kind of they're not bound by the law in terms of, somebody gets found guilty of something, now we have to, they kind of can set their own limitations on that. And I also think it's vague and broad on purpose, so that when these types of situations or lesser situations or worse situations come up, if there is much worse, they can kind of decide how they want to handle that on their own. And to your point, like, it's all about, we say it all the time, right? Protecting the shield. That's what it's all about for the NFL. They're trying to protect the shield. They're trying to protect their brand, and the personal conduct policy allows them to implement their own punishments based on that. We saw the same thing in baseball, right? With Trevor Bauer. He wasn't found guilty of anything. He's out of the game for 2 years now because baseball decided it was just too much for them to tolerate in their sport.
Yeah, and again, I'm with you. I think it's intentionally vague, so you can't come back and say, you can't do that because of this. It's vague enough that they can do pretty much what they see fit as an organization. And it's a billion with a B, probably tens of billions of dollars industry that they have.